Welcome back to Dan's Crypto Adventures. So here is the rig that I built in a previous video. It has one GTX 1070 and it has been running consistently. It has been profitable. It was kind of my first go at a miner, and I was able to make money and convert that into dollars and put that into my bank account. And so since I was successfully able to do that, I've decided to go ahead and build the rest of this miner out. So I have gotten 5 new cards. So currently I have one GTX 1070. I've bought another GTX 1070. So I'll have 2 of the identical cards. And then I've bought 4 GTX 1070 Ti's. One of those, or 2 of those, are Zotac minis. And then 2 of them are the regular Zotac. And so I have shut off the system, powered everything down, and so we're ready to start installing those. The first step is going to be to install the additional power supply. So it is going to go in the back here, sitting right in this location, right here, and then it'll be able to plug in all the wires. Once I get that installed, then I will start installing the other GPUs. So let's grab the power supply. So here is the power supply. It is an EVGA 750, and so it'll be mounted right here. Because we have 2 power supplies, we will need a special adapter in order to hook up the 2 power supplies to the one main board. This right here is the adapter used for the 2 power supplies. So one power supply will plug into there, the second one into there, and then this end plugs into the main board. But first I need to mount the power supply before I'm ready to hook that up. Alright, so just need to screw in the power supply. We've got the holes drilled and the screw lined up. Great, so we got that plug installed. Now we can take a look at the wires in the back. So I've got most of my plugs on here. The first things I'd like to do is the main board. I'd like to get that kind of hooked in together, since those are big, heavier wires, harder to move around. Now I've got 2 different power supplies. This one here is the gold, and then the one in the front is the platinum. I should have gone with both platinum, but I didn't. So I'm going to use the platinum to do as much as possible. I'm going to use it as the primary for the main board, and also I'm going to use it to plug in the hard drive and the CPU, and just as many of the components as it'll take. Keep maintaining that percentage. You want to use about 50% utilization on your power supply to maintain the efficiency of it. So this cord right here goes to the platinum version, so I'm going to use that on the primary here. And then the 2 that come off that go to the other power supply are going to the gold rating one. That is this power supply right here, so plug that in. And then I'm going to plug this in into the main board. I'm going to do a little bit of cable management as I go with this. And again, I like all of my cores to be inside the case because one of my goals with this is that it's movable. I want to be able to pick this up by the side rails and move it to wherever I need it to be. As you can see, I've already got most of the cables plugged in that I'm going to need. I've got a few more here that I need to plug into the first power supply. Great, so now I've got both power supplies mounted. I've plugged in all of the cores into both power supplies, so they're all hooked up. Now we're ready to start installing the graphics cards, and then we can start wiring everything together. So here are all of my risers. I've got the USB cables already attached, as well as the little plugs that convert to the SATA cables as well. So we'll go ahead and put these onto the graphics cards and then get everything laid out, see how everything goes, and then we'll start screwing these down. Great, so now all of the graphics cards are set into place with the risers attached. The risers are not screwed down yet. I'm going to use just small wood screws to do that. Just go straight through the board and into the wood. Just want it snug. You do not want to over tighten these. So I've got a long screwdriver here. And once everything is lined up, I will start screwing these down. Screwing the risers down. Okay, again, you do not have to screw down the risers. I like to, because one of my goals is to be able to pick up this rig and carry it around and move it if I need to. And so to be able to do that, I want to make sure everything's secure. So now I'm going to go ahead and screw in the front of the graphics cards to the front rail. I'm just using self-tapping sheet metal screws to do that. Okay, so all the graphics cards are attached. They're mounted in there securely. Another optional step I like to do is on a riser, there is this white piece right here that clicks and locks into place. Just locks this graphics card in there a little bit better. Again, you don't have to. A lot of people do. I do like to go through and kind of click all those into place to hold it just a little bit better. So now we're ready to wire everything up. So we have three different types of graphics cards here. We have the GTX 1070s, which are these two right here. All four of these are GTX 1070 Ti's. These two are Zotac Minis, and these are the regular Zotac. The four large cards here all need two 8-pin connectors. The Minis need one 8-pin connector. And then all of the risers get the one USB that comes off into a connection like this, which will plug into the main board. And then also each riser has a SATA cable comes off like this. Now, one of the important things about SATA connections is you get these cores that come out like this. They have, this particular one has 4 connections for SATA connection, power connections. You do not want to use all 4 at one time. There is a potential fire hazard here. On one cable, you should only use 2 of the connections, no more than that. So let's start hooking up everything. Alright, so all of the SATA connections are made to all of the risers. So now I need to start plugging in the graphics cards. So when I originally built this, I had 1 power supply and 1 graphics card. That was successful, was profitable, so I decided to buy 5 additional graphics cards and an additional power supply. So now we need to hook up all the power supply. Now we need to hook up all the graphics cards. So again, the GTX 1070s and the larger Zotac 1070s have 2 8-pin connectors, and the Zotac Minis have 1 8-pin connector. Alright, so we've got all of the power connections done to the graphics cards as well as the risers. Everything's all hooked up power wise. Now we've got to spin it around and connect all of the USB cables. So the other end of these USB cables plugs into the risers. At the end of the risers we have these little devices here that the USB plugs into, and then these will plug into the board. Great, so everything is plugged in and hooked up. That should be it. Needs a little cable management, but everything should run. I'll probably try it out and make sure everything works before I do the cable management. As always, thank you for watching Dan's Crypto Adventures. Again, I do not presume to know everything. I'm simply showing the things that I've done and the things that work that have been profitable for me. I'm sure there are better ways. Feel free to let me know about it in the comments. If there's better ways, I'll definitely take a look. So for now, I'm ready to plug in the power and also the network, and then we can start the rig, and then we'll start working on the software. Now, one thing I do like to do before, anytime I'm messing around with the screws and holes and drilling and that kind of thing, I like to blow out any debris that might have fallen on the motherboard. So I do have a compressed air machine over there, so I can squirt this out. Just any bits of metal, anything like that, I want to get out of there. So again, also please subscribe at the bottom of the channel and hit the like button. I do have many videos planned that I hope to continue with. There's also Amazon links down there to some of these components. That does not increase the cost for you guys, but I do get a percentage of any sales, so I do appreciate that, and that will help the channel to grow and allow me to produce additional videos. Feel free to ask any questions. So right now I'm ready to fire this up, turn it on, make sure everything works, and then I'll probably do another video here very soon talking about the software that is used to run this particular miner. Thanks.